In this video, I'm going to be talking about a software called TaxJar. Now, this is a web application that connects to your Amazon store and many other e-commerce platforms to make sure that you properly file your state sales tax. Now, this is, a complicated issue when it comes to e-commerce because very few of you, I know myself alone, I sell stuff anywhere. I don't usually even know where I'm selling stuff, right? And that's where it becomes complicated because not every state has legislated law that requires Amazon to collect and file taxes for all sales pertaining to that state. And so in the states where that doesn't happen, you actually are required to file state sales tax for sales in that particular area. So you don't need to really worry about that per se, because once you have your tax settings set up properly within your Amazon account, Amazon's actually going to collect that money. And all you have to do is collect and remit that tax money to each particular state. So that sounds really complicated, which is why using something like TaxJar is going to be really important. Now, I want to disclaim this right now. I am not an accountant. We are not giving tax advice here. I'm simply showing you why this service exists, and I'll actually start with the pricing, because for majority of you watching this, the basic plan is going to be more than enough for you. It's not, unless you have so many different platforms, you have so many different sales, it's just so complicated, then you may want to consider contacting TaxJar and setting up something custom for your store. But for $17 a month, they basically will do everything for you, create your sales tax report so that all you have to do is file them. And they even have an auto file available. They charge you $25 per state. So depending on how many states you need to file in, that can become expensive, but in a lot of times it's worth it. If you have very few sales and very few things to input, you can definitely save some money there, but it's completely up to you. It's completely up to you. So in the end, it's the purpose of this software is to create the sales tax reports to make sure that you file the state sales tax in the states that you're supposed to do that in. So I know all of you are sitting there right now like, what is going on? How do I figure this out? So you only have to file and you only have to register to collect sales tax from customers in states where you have what's called economic nexus. And I wasn't exactly sure how to explain that, but fortunate for us, TaxJar actually has a lot of educational resource that can help us understand what exactly it is that we're doing. So you'll always have nexus in your home state where you're located, right? The most common causes for nexus in other states are offices, employees, a warehouse, an affiliate, stored inventory, economic nexus, and temporarily doing physical business in a state for a trade show or craft fair, right? Now, they have a lot of other resources you can go and do this. And in the end, you just want to connect this to your Amazon account, and you want to make sure that you file in the states where you have nexus. And the way that you'll figure that out, when you go into your Amazon account and you connect it to TaxJar, when you go into state settings, it's going to tell you your states with nexus. And it will put an Amazon badge if you're an FBA seller. If you're using other stores, you have to go and do that. I'm going to use this specifically for Amazon. But what it will do is it will put a particular badge that's an Amazon badge right next to your state so that you know that you need to go actually set up your tax settings within Amazon so that Amazon actually collects that money for you at the point of sale. Because you'll notice that when you're shopping on Amazon yourself and you click add to cart, when you go to checkout, where necessary, they're collecting sales tax. And all you have to do is go set up your tax settings so that Amazon knows that they're actually collecting it on your behalf. And then when you file your sales tax, all you have to do is collect from Amazon and then remit that sales tax to your state. So it's not like you have to go and actually write these checks out of your own pocket. Your consumers or your customers that are purchasing that as an end user are the ones that are actually going to be paying the sales tax. You just have to track it, record it, collect and remit it to each state where necessary. And you'll notice that not every state is requiring that you are filing sales tax, even though you may have had sales in that particular state. The reason that is either the state has a law that requires Amazon to do it for you, or you don't have nexus in that state where you're paying state where the sale actually took place. So if you have nexus because you have FBA inventory somewhere or whatever have you, don't worry so much about that. But again, I'm not an accountant, and for $17 a month for TaxJar to track and do all of this for me is incredible, right? And this is, the bigger your store gets, the more and more you're going to need this. And so I'm sure you have a ton of different questions as to how TaxJar exactly works. You know, what is it that we need? In the end, I'm going to tell you that on TaxJar, any question that you can think of, they have articles about it. They have a lot of educational resources that just help you to either set up your tax settings within your store, how to connect your store to TaxJar, you know, so on and so forth. And this is exactly how they do it for you. All the integrations that they allow in TaxJar are here below. Obviously, the main one that we are going to use is Amazon, but they also have it for, you know, Squarespace, eBay, Etsy, Shopify, Stripe, Walmart, whatever. They have a very, very many sales tax integration so that you can essentially set this up with all of your stores. It makes all of your sales tax in one place so that one, you are actually collecting sales tax and reporting it where necessary. And two, you're not going to mess up because you're relying on them. They also have a lot of different resources in terms of using accountants to actually do the filing for you. If you have some complicated situation, if you need some professional advice or some accounting to be done for you, they have a lot of different resources available. And again, you can find all of that if you go to the homepage. Even when you're logged in, it's still up here on the main dashboard where you just click on support. Now, this is TaxJar, and all that it is used for is to make sure that you're doing your sales tax properly and that you can file them easily. When you get this all set up to auto file, you never have to think about it again. Now, in order to do that though, you want to make sure that you are actually setting up your all of your settings properly in Amazon. And if you go there, you can search, you know, how to set up Amazon tax settings. How do I collect the right sales tax on Amazon? And then they'll have an article, and then they have guides for you to go set it up within your store. And all you do is follow their step-by-step tutorials and make sure that you are collecting the proper sales tax where necessary and that your consumers are paying that money. All you're going to do is file, collect, and remit the sales tax to each particular state that you need to. So again, this is for TaxJar. You sign up for free, and when you start using their service, the pricing I showed it earlier, the $17 a month is going to be more than sufficient. If for some reason it's not, contact their sales department and walk them through what you would need. But this is going to be a very valuable tool, and so that you don't have to be worried or scared or nervous about filing state sales tax. In the end, do the best thing is pay a professional to do it for you. And this software is set up to be so easy for you to use. It's very self-explanatory. Once you're in there, just connect it to your store and you're off to the races.